Well, good morning to everybody in the beautiful city of New York, New York. Today we are going to talk about the Red Hot New York Yankees and whether or not they are going to win the playoffs. Isaac, Will, both have differing opinions here. Isaac, let's hear your side first.
Well, it's a pleasure to be with you fellas. Pleasure to be at Yankee Stadium. More so a pleasure to be with you, Ben, because this guy next to me, I mean, I don't even know. Do you have a brain right now? Does your brain, come
That's supposed to be a
in and
question.
out? Is it thrown out?
He's
This
trying to
guy,
get in
because this guy, as you heard in the last hour, does not believe that the New York Yankees will be a playoff team. And what are you going to say after yesterday, sweeping doubleheader?
I still don't, because it's only 2 games. You do realize they still have a month and a half left of baseball to prove that they're a playoff caliber team. We've seen the Yankees go on some hot rides. We've seen some games where the Red Sox can go cold. We've seen games where, yes, the Yankees can win a couple games against the Red Sox in a doubleheader. Who cares on one doubleheader? You still have a whole month to assert yourselves as a playoff team, and I don't see you guys maintaining this level of consistency. You may have guys like Gallo, and Sanchez, and Stanton, Voit going off right now, but what happens when they go cold? They go cold, you guys are screwed.
Voigt may not even be in the lineup when Anthony Rizzo gets back. I mean, let's remember how great Rizzo was before he got COVID, before the Yankee variant went around the room. And look, when you have a guy like Rizzo and you have a guy like Voigt, maybe they're comparable when they're hot. Voigt's on fire right now, and I still would take a Rizzo at 75% over Voigt. Now, Rizzo brings something to the Yankees that I think the Yankees haven't had in the room for a while, in the clubhouse for a while. They don't have that guy. They don't have that leader. And they have a manager who kind of just treats them like buddies. He's a little too soft on the players. I called Boone out in the past. I still don't think he's a great manager, but I think he's getting the job done right now. And the Yankees, after this deadline, after adding, remember, getting Corey Kluber back, probably, and I say probably because he had some setbacks, setback after setback with him. They're probably getting Luis Severino back. I think they're in a good position right now. And I think the Red Sox are in a great position too. I think the Red Sox are a playoff team too. Now, Red Sox-Yankees wild card game at Fenway Park or Yankee Stadium, Garrett Cole and Chris Sale, it'll be wild. But it's absolutely crazy of you to say that they are not a playoff team with what they've done so far.
Now, I actually really appreciate you mentioned that because, when you talk about Anthony Rizzo, yes, you do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We have breaking news. Yankees just acquired him at the trade deadline. Joey Gallo signs a 5-year, $120 million extension. That is $24 million. $24 million
Are you kidding me,
per
Jordan?
year over the next 5 years.
Have you lost your mind?
Oh, this is great. This is great.
Hang on,
They get
let's hear
6 years of the short porch with this guy. This is great.
Let's hear this buffoon go nuts for like 2 minutes. What do you got to say about this?
This is beautiful. Can you give me a blue check mark?
I mean, Isaac, what do you have to say about this? They just acquired Joey Gallo. What do you say about this trade now?
This is great.
What do you think about this in 5 years? What do you think about this in 6 years?
The average fan hadn't heard these guys that were traded to Texas. These no-name prospects that were sent to the Rangers in exchange for Joey Gallo. This is great. This guy's got the short porch. They got a year on his current deal next year, and then he's got 5 years after that. You're telling me I get to watch this guy 6 years with the short porch? This is going to be great. I mean, I'm not suggesting that he's the next Babe Ruth. Frankly, nobody is. I'm not suggesting he's the next Lou Gehrig. Nobody is. I'm not suggesting he's the next Mickey Mantle. Nobody is. I'm not suggesting he's the next Roger Maris. Nobody is. But Joey Gallo. 5 years, $120 million. I think that's fair for what he's given them so far. It may be a little bit of an overpay, but ultimately you had to give him what he was going to take to stay. Now the job is arisen.
You're giving $120 million to a guy whose average can't stay above 230.
His OPS.
Yes, Gallo has a power bat and can be valuable along the lineups, especially left-handed power lineups. But you have to understand the kind of player Joey Gallo is. He is either whip or send it to the stands. He whiffs more than 4 times out of 10. While sending to the stands, maybe 1 out of 10 times.
Now,
yes, you do appreciate the power that you can provide and another power bat. But $120 million. Okay, first of all, what are you going to do with other guys? How are you going to extend Judge? I mean, this guy only has a couple of years left on his rookie deal.
The Yankees are the
How
Yankees.
are you going to extend
and Hal
them?
Steinbrenner
The
will
Yankees
start.
are going to run out of money
No,
sooner
I
or
mean,
later.
look what the Dodgers are doing. Now, Hal Steinbrenner, obviously, it would be speaking the obvious, to say that he's not George. Him and George run very different ships, and that's obvious at this point. Hal with the luxury tax right now, That's going to change. They're going to be spending money like crazy next year. They're going to maybe pick up Trevor Story in free agency, maybe make a trade for Ketel Marte, Jesse Winker, somebody like that, a big left-handed bat. But I'm not sure, what your issue with this deal is with Joey Gallo.
My
Because Joey
issue
Gallo
is what level of consistency can Joey
But
Gallo
Joey Gallo
bring
is
to the
underrated
Yankees
defensive
over
player,
the
good
years?
bat. He's got the short push. Now I want to see him become a more complete hitter. He's going to pull everything still at Yankee Stadium. But we'll see what happens. In a few years,
But that
we
was
will
the
judge
issue
this
with
deal.
him in Texas. That's why they gave him up for nothing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there you have it. Joey Gallo has signed a 5-year, $120 million extension with the Yankees after he was traded there just a couple of weeks ago. We'll see how it pans out next year, over the next couple years, and then over the next 6 years. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow.